Hey everybody, Chrissy here. Welcome back to my daily drive. Today's episode is about how to be a voiceover actor. Now, there are a lot of videos out there about how to be a voiceover actor, and they're all pretty good. They are by people who are making their at least a portion of their living doing voiceover, and they have some really great stuff out there. The point of this video is to teach you how to market yourself as a voiceover actor. Prior to doing that, obviously, you need training. Being an actor helps voiceover actors be better voiceover actors because obviously you are trained to act. Having a voice is not necessarily the biggest issue when it comes to voiceover. It is knowing how to use your voice and understanding what your voice style is, right? Understanding what your vocal brand is. Do you sound like a happy mom? Do you sound like a sultry Mae West? Is your voice high-pitched, deep and low? What are the aspects of your voice and how you use it that really make your voice unique and that you can use in your branding, right? The way to be a voiceover actor is similar to owning a professional business in any field. Voiceover artists who want to work from home and do voiceover or go into the studio are entrepreneurs, just like actors, just like directors, just like some filmmakers, right? Just like some people in this entertainment industry. You're a professional business owner and you're an entrepreneur. So you need to know how to market yourself as a voiceover artist. I have several videos out there about how to make a voiceover artist on a living on Upwork. I haven't really touched Fiverr yet because I don't have a profile out on Fiverr where I have made money, but I can assure you it's going to be the same type of thing. Whether you're on voices.com, Voquent, or Voice Rabbit, I think is what they're called. A thing about that company, I think it's Voice Rabbit. At any rate, it's super fast. Everything is super fast. So you have to be literally sitting there watching their auditions come through all day long. And I think that a lot of people have made some great money doing that. Personally, I'm also filming things and writing things and doing stand-up. So I don't have time to sit there and watch the scale at Rabbit. But that might be all you want to do. ACX, let's talk about ACX. Again, branding is important. Knowing your brand and how to market yourself and how to advertise yourself on any of these platforms is going to get you attention on those platforms. So let's just say you want to focus on ACX. ACX is where you would narrate audiobooks. It's an Amazon company and you can put a profile out there for free. You can audition for free. And as long as you know your vocal style, you can search the auditions that are posted for free and create your voiceover auditions with the equipment that you have at home and send it in. In a lot of cases, those people just want to do royalty share, and you can probably use the equipment that you have. And if you can market the royalty shared work that you've booked, then you can slowly but surely earn money doing voiceovers to buy the studio equipment that you need. As a professional, you should be reinvesting a portion, if not all, of your money back into your business, particularly if you have a day job while you're busting your booty to become a voiceover artist. So if you're a voiceover artist, but you are working a day job, use your day job to pay your bills. Use any money you make in voiceover to reinvest it back into your voiceover career. All right, now down to the nitty gritty. Excuse me. Again, I mentioned other people out there are going to tell you where you can go. I just gave you a few samples and how you can go about creating your brand and marketing yourself. I just touched on those lightly. But really what you want to be able to do is market yourself as a voiceover artist. And that includes building an email list of people, professionals in the business, having your LinkedIn profile, making sure that all of your social media directs to your brand and you as a voiceover artist. So let's say you want to build your email campaign. And I mention this all the time, but email is the gold because you own the email addresses. You do not want to put all of your eggs in the basket of an online social platform, only to discover that they've changed all of their policy. The government took over and said they can't do these things anymore, and so on and so forth, for example. And now you've suddenly lost your connection to all the people who could have been buying what you sell, which is your voice. Okay, so you want to have an email list that you have built that you can put into the back pocket, or that you can print. I have a printed copy just in case the world's internet crashes, and that printed copy includes the addresses and phone numbers just in case the internet breaks down, right? So now you want to talk about strategy. So let's say you've got your email addresses for production companies near you and worldwide who hire what you do. Let's say that you have the phone numbers and addresses of those companies as well. I highly recommend that you do that. There are a couple of ways to get these things. You can buy them lists. You can buy lists. You want to be careful what kind of lists you're buying, because sometimes people just sell you a list and none of the things that are on there, maybe 3 names on there, are still in the business or are, buyers of what you sell. So finding those companies, I hear, people have great success on Fiverr. People have great success on Upwork, and those types of freelance websites. Those websites are places you might want to also have profiles on. I do have other videos about how to, great keywords to use on those voiceover channels, or on those freelance channels as a voiceover artist as well, so you can check those out. But truly, the point of this video is to get you to understand that you need to draw as much attention to yourself as possible. There are a couple of interesting business concepts out there, and one of them is that he who spends the most makes the most. And again, if you're reinvesting your money that you make in voiceover back into marketing yourself for voiceover, then eventually you'll continue to grow that business. You have to spend money to make money. But if you don't have any money, you need to build your email list and then market to that email list. And I would recommend that if you're not a good writer, you get an intern who can write emails or hire it done. I think I just spent $30 hiring a series of 7 emails to be written for me. I'm not going to let them go out just like that. They're going to send them to me. I'm going to proof them, right? Edit them myself, maybe even give them a few lines that are very me. But the bottom line is that I don't have the time to do that myself, so I reinvest the money that I make as a voiceover artist back into hiring the things that I don't want to do or I don't do well, on people who do want to do that and do them well. So now you've got all of your social media set up with your marketing, with your brand, so that people know exactly what you offer. So it's easy. You tell them exactly how to buy you. You send that in emails to your email list, which you're building. You want to follow up. I always say fortune is in the follow-up. You want to follow up with these people via email, text message, phone call, on Facebook Messenger. However they prefer to be contacted is the best way to follow up with them. So you want to know what that is. Ask them. Ask them in one of your emails. There's a lot of programs out there that do automated emails, right? So if they click on this, they get sent to this email path, and if they click on that, they get sent this email path, and those are great, but they're not very personalized. Bonnie Gillespie does some great conversations in her book and on her channel and in her work, talking about understanding your brand and then understanding who specifically the buyers of your brand specifically are, so that you can very specifically direct your campaigns to them. What do I mean? Well, what I mean by that is that if you know there are 10 producers who buy exactly what your brand is, let's say that you are a soccer mom in your voice style, and you listen to soccer mom commercials, and then you find out who is that soccer mom commercial made by. And then you investigate it and you find the producer who creates that show. Well, now that person is the target buyer of what you deliver in voiceover. So now you want to set up a campaign marketing yourself to that person and ingratiating yourself to that person, so that anytime they're thinking about hiring or casting somebody who does what you do, they contact you rather than somebody else. Or at least you're in the top 10 of the people that they bring in for an audition for the actual buyer, which is the company the producer is doing the job for. How do you do this research? Well, there are a lot of ways that you do this research. The path that I just took you down is one of them, and all you do is use Google to kind of figure that out. The other path is IMDb Pro, and that is going to be most specifically to people who want to do cartoons and film, right? So big features, things like that are the types of places you're going to find the people who do what you do. There are places like, I think it's Scripty. Oh boy, I will have to figure that out, maybe populate it in the description below. I can't think of what it's called, but it's a phenomenal place. You can type in any commercial that you've listened to or heard, and it will give you the people who created it. And you know what? If I don't pop that in the description below, I'm too busy. Google it. Like, how do I find out who produces this commercial? And then go down that rabbit hole and figure it out. Okay, now those are a couple of professional business tips. As a voiceover artist who wants to work locally, which is how I teach people to make their living acting anywhere, is you want to make sure that you join your local Chamber of Commerce, and you want to have a booth anytime they're having an event. You want to also show up to business PMs, which means you want to probably have a good old-fashioned business card. If you have a booth at a Chamber of Commerce event, then people walking by, you're going to stand out like a sore thumb, right? Because everybody else there is going to be a restaurant, an insurance company. They're all the insurance companies are going to be there. You're going to stand out like a sore thumb, especially if you have really cool, like you blow up your headshot and you have like your own voice piping through your little JBL speaker. You don't have to get crazy. You can use the things that you have in your house to get these things organized. But having a booth means that you can have a little contest for the business owners out there. Every business is your customer as a voiceover artist. Everyone in your community. So you want to draw their attention to your booth at a Chamber of Commerce event and make sure that they're coming to you, and you want to give them a reason to give you their business cards. People that have raffles, they say, I will give a free voiceover to the winner of the for your current radio promotions. Businesses voice their own radio promotions, and let me tell you, everybody knows that's not always the best for anybody, A, to listen to, and B, it sounds not professional. And if you give away a free professional voiceover for their radio advertisement, they may see the value in that, especially if there's a spike in traffic and people are like, yeah, I heard your radio commercial, and they're doing their own market research and making sure that how people are hearing about them, then they might want to come back and bring you in, asking for referrals. Okay, so here's how this works, just taking you down that path. Now you've had your chamber event and it was successful. You got 200 business cards from anybody in the community who can buy what you sell, which is your voice. You start you put them on your email address list, right? Now you have 200 emails to businesses, the buyers, who also want to earn your business, right? So they're going to want to build that relationship with you as well. You have now performed the voiceover for the business who won the raffle, and now they know what you do. You can now direct the other 199 businesses that you got business cards for to that commercial. Make sure you always get a copy from the radio station to that commercial, and they will now get a sample of a real live local commercial that you voiced for a local business, and that makes you even more desirable in their community. So now you continue to market with them, continue to keep involved with them, continue to craft your emails so that they're personalized, and you'll start to grow your book of business in this way. You'll also start to grow your demo. This demo is the type of demo that is actual work demo. If you're just starting out, you can buy a demo. You can go to an organization like The Edge, which is a voiceover studio online and in New York City. You can go to Acting Studio Chicago and take voiceover classes there that result in demos. You can go to Pat Fraley in LA and get a voiceover demo done by him. There's all sorts of big companies that you can do that over the phone with. You can rent a studio if you don't have professional equipment, blah, 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 blah. But if you're wanting to work locally, and you can just start even giving away your voiceover by going, and here's tip like number 4. This is old-fashioned, what my son would call OG marketing. Door to door. Go door to door to the businesses in your business community and give away a free voiceover for one of their commercials. Go to the radio station and say, hey, I do voiceover. I'd like to offer my services for free while I build my book of business. Bring the radio station treats, lunches, whatever, healthy foods. If they like donuts, bring them donuts. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But ingratiate yourself to your local radio stations and your local cable channels. If you want to get on camera, that's great. But also, they hire voiceovers for their local on-camera commercials. So you don't have to get on camera when you ingratiate yourself to the local cable channels. You just want to go out there and create business relationships in the places where you are the hireable commodity. Okay. So now you've ingratiated yourself to all these people, you've built your book of business, you've got an email list to begin with, you've started giving away free voiceover, and now you start charging. Now you start charging for voiceover. Obviously, I think you should put together a professional business plan. If you do market research and you understand every piece of your business and what you offer, then it is a no-brainer when you're talking to people who can buy what you sell. And that goes for how you price out your services. Ask the business owners questions. Here's an idea. You want to make friends in the business where you need to get hired? Start out by going and talking to these business owners and asking them questions about their needs and how you can best serve those needs. Hi, Mr. Restaurant Owner. I heard your commercial the other day. You're very funny. I was wondering, why do you do your own voiceovers? Well, because it's inexpensive. If you could hire a voiceover artist to do your voiceovers for you, how much could you pay? Well, I could probably afford like $50, but none of those voiceover artists only make $50. Well, what if I could supply you with professional voiceover for $50? Would you hire me right now? The worst that can happen is they say no, right? So a great place to get into that kind of conversation is, believe it or not, your local BNI chapter. That is the Business Networking Initiative. You can meet with your local business owners. Basically, that's like you have to spend $400 for an annual membership to that place. But again, all business is about networking and building relationships with the people who can buy what you sell. And yes, my ladies and gentlemen, you are selling your voice as a voiceover artist. You are a professional. You are a business owner and an entrepreneur. Joining an organization like Business Networking Initiative for the $400 fee means that every single week you get to meet with business owners who are there specifically to pass referrals to one another. That means You get up once a week and you say your 30-second spiel about what you offer, how to get in touch with you. People say, you know what, my friend was just talking about hating to use his own voice on the radio. Here's a referral to that person. The other thing that you get to do is every single week, one of the business owners in the membership, in the group, get to have a good 30-minute portion of the lunch hour to really pitch their business and how they help other people, what their business offers. So it's a great way for you to feature your voiceover business. Another great thing that BNI offers is that you get to ask each other to coffee to learn more about each other's businesses. And what's great about this is that it's really great training grounds for you to be able to have professional conversations like that. A lot of artists and professionals in voiceover and acting, I know, are artists, and they don't want to talk about business. They feel like that's kind of icky and they don't want to do it. But if you get yourself off the ground doing it with people who are also uncomfortable starting out doing that, then you're both going to be very compassionate to each other and empathetic, and you will not feel as awkward. So by the time you sit down with the third person and you find out what they do for a living, they tell you all about how they help people insure their homes and protect themselves from the unexpected, and then it's your turn and you get to say, I offer businesses like yours professional voiceover to draw more attention to your business, and people know when they hear something that sounds professional and they tune out to things that don't. And then you exchange business cards. You say, may I follow up with you, and find out if that ever is going to happen. In that conversation with that person, that's where you want to ask those questions I talked about that you should be asking business owners. Like, why aren't you using voiceover now? Or are you using voiceover now? Do you ever use voiceover? Why? What keeps you from using voiceover? And then if you can find out the reasons that they object to using voiceover, then you can find ways to close in sales. You always remember your ABCs, and that is always be closing. So you ferret out those questions in order to find out what their objections are so that you can overcome them. For example, like I mentioned before, let's talk about money. It is almost never about money. It's about value. So if you understand that they think voiceover is worth $50 and they can afford $50 worth of voiceover, then you provide them with way more value so that next time you can say, how did that work? That was my introductory rate based on what you could afford. Now you provide value, you've delivered, they're impressed with your work, and they find you super professional. Now maybe they'll spend more money. Now maybe they'll book you for 12 months of voiceover, and they have $1,500 in their budget to do that. 12 months of voiceover, maybe that's 12 voiceovers, right? Like a new voiceover every single month, and 30 seconds. So you do the math. 12 voiceovers, 30 seconds, and you get $1,500. It's not bad money. If you want to really know what voiceover artists make in your region, do your market research. I can't tell you that. I wish I could. Your market research in your company or in your area is going to be your best bet for figuring that out. Wow. Okay. I think I've dropped a lot of information on how to be a professional voiceover artist. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I am more than happy to answer any questions. Just like this, I'm building my own business. I'm a professional filmmaker and comedian. I do a lot of things on the side. So honestly, these videos are just to help people like yourself get where you want to be going. I don't expect anything in return. So just ask me a comment or comment with a question and I'll be happy to answer it. If you're dropping a comment that has to do with selling me something, I probably won't respond, but I'll give you a heart or a like because, engagement. If I've provided any value to you in this video or any of the videos that you watch on my channel, please feel free to let me know about that. subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so that you get notified every time I release another value dropping bomb. What? And share with your friends who you think might benefit from these videos. All right, y'all. Be safe, stay well, and go get them, Tiger. You got this. It's just a system, a numbers game. Anyone can do it. You just have to be committed. Follow through. Follow up. Fortune is in the follow-up.